Okay, welcome back to another episode of the Queen City Roundup. We're back. Wow, I'm fucking cringy. All right, I have to drop an F bomb right away. So
And right there,
anyway,
got to mark it as explicit.
I mean, we do it anyway, and even though we
Yeah.
don't even like, we're not like,
Even when we don't swear, I do it just in case because I'm like, oh, I
we're
probably
not, we're
slipped
not
one
like,
out
we're not like
somewhere.
a certain network that starts with that's another name for a chair
Hmm.
that's completely shitty and just says swear words every friggin' time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, uh. as our time of recording this, even though it'll be up later in the week, we are 24 hours away from puck drop. Just about. I think it's gonna start at 7 o'clock. So that's the saddest clap I think I've ever seen in my life. Especially for those that are gonna watch like the video portion of this, they're gonna be like, "What?" It's gonna be like,
I thought you'd
"Okay, now
join
now
along.
now I now I just made it even worse." Okay,
I
never
thought
mind.
I thought you
Anyway,
would join along.
no, I should have, but I didn't know you were doing it.
Hmm.
You should have like given me a cue. But
More
anyway,
communication next time.
we've only done this show for we're coming
This
up
is the
to a year.
30th This is the 30th episode.
We're getting close to a year. Around at the end of February was our first real show.
Whenever was the David Ayers game?
It was the day
That was the
after
no
the
that was the last week of February.
yes, that one. But anyway, um, so we at least had some hockey to go off of, which felt really awkward, but also really warming. I don't know if like you were the same way, because
I
like,
mean, I didn't really watch much of it because there's another sports ball game going
well,
on.
I did because I'm a good fan, unlike you are. So uh having the two I can't remember their names. Well, I feel like an idiot, but they're the two in arena hosts for Scotiabank Arena. It was really nice that they had those guys in.
Mm-hmm.
Uh Bringing Martina in to do the national anthem was really surprising. I thought they would do like they did in the bubble where she would just or they would take a recording, I guess, of before. But I guess because they figure like they have the budget to like, test everybody and like everyone's kind of safe, they figure, okay, we can bring
Yeah,
you in.
well,
But
it's MLSE, right?
now my highlight, okay, there are many highlights from the scrimmage that I don't know if you remember, but there was one highlight. So Kristen Shelton of TSN, who's a great follow by the way, uh tweeted her grievances about Hall and Oates still being the Leafs goal song. And this is why I love Brandon Shanahan, because he just does not give any shits whatsoever. He just literally responded with a gif of, I think it's, no, it wasn't Red from that 70s show, but it was literally a guy with like the sunglasses on his thing, and he just like threw it down. He's just like, deal with it. And I'm just like, okay, I guess he gets the final say on who gets to pick the goal song. Cool.
It's a fun goal song. I don't mind it. I like the song.
There's a lot better. If I had to pick like my favorite, I know this is kind of a weird one. I think the Canucks have the best one
I
because
don't. I don't
Holiday.
know this. I don't know this stuff
Uh,
off by
so
heart.
there, I know a few. I know that they do Holiday by Green Day. I think that one
Ooh,
works.
that's a good one.
Chelsea Dagger, I think everybody knows because that's Chicago. Um, I know that the Devils used to use the Gary Glitter song, where it was like, I can't, like, the song. Did you see? I can't I feel like an idiot that I don't know this, but everyone's gonna yell at me like, that's actually this. But the friggin' the song. Did you watch Joker?
No, I haven't.
Okay, but do you know the scene where Joker's or like well, he slowly becomes the Joker, but like Joaquin Phoenix is like doing the dance down
Down the stairs.
the stairs. That song's
Yes.
playing in the background. The
Hmm.
Devils used to have that song, but I think because I think Gary Glitter went to jail because he was doing some form of he was basically doing some form of pedophilia. I don't know what it
Oh,
was.
that's not good.
Oh, it's not good at all. And then they were still doing the song, and I was just like, "You the rude guys." Um,
Hmm.
I honestly prefer. Uh, I think Monster Truck did the Leafs like little interlude for like the 16-17 season. I think 2 seasons, 16 17 17 18 they used that one.
I,
I
don't
personally
remember.
liked it. I remember they did the Harlem Shake for a little bit, which
You
was
see,
really
I
cringy.
like the Maple Leaf song that they play after each win.
Okay, yes, that one can stay.
Hmm.
That one I'm honestly okay with, just because like, you know, it is what it is. Like you can't go wrong with like victory songs or whatever.
Hmm.
Um, but anyway, minor stuff that I've noticed.
Anyways,
The no fans being there, I didn't mind it.
yeah, well, I mean, we saw it in the bubble, right?
Yeah, even
We
though they
just saw it
didn't
in the
have
World Juniors too.
yeah, and do you have any like immediate players that stuck out? So I have a few, but I want to give
I didn't
you.
watch much of the game. I had to watch my Washington football team almost beat out the Tampa
Okay,
Bay Buccaneers that night.
so for
But
somebody who literally said we're gonna do a Leaf centric
but I
show,
did watch.
you didn't even
I
did you even
did
watch the highlights? Do you watch highlights?
I did watch the highlights. So I was
Okay.
gonna say, William Nylander's
So
his two goals stuck out.
I have a hot take, and I think this is gonna happen, especially once we see. Unfortunately, I don't think it's gonna. I don't know if it'll happen to the Leafs, but like, if we do see players sitting, like for example, they say they want to rest Jake Muzzin, which I think is something they could consider depending on the opponent. I can see Mikko Lehtinen playing in the top four and probably getting some power play one time because, dude, imagining him power like being the
With
sole D
Matthews, Marner.
with Matthews, Marner, Nylander, Tavares, why not?
Hmm.
And then whatever. Trying to think about like whatever because you usually have like Matthews at the
Well, they're gonna
point
have
with.
Simmons on the one in front of the
Okay, so
net.
then you can do probably like Simmons on the right, Nylander on the left. No, you can't do. Wait. Oh no, they want Thornton on one. I think so.
I know Thornton. Yeah.
It would be the first line, but with Simmons. So it would be like Simmons, Tavares, Marner, with, in my opinion, Lettinen and Matthews, because I know Matthews on the point is deadly, which it
Let's
is.
pull it up. Let's see.
Um, and then other players, I thought like what was funny was out of some of the players that were like waived in quotations or scratched, dude, Jack Campbell was playing like it was a playoff game. Like he had a couple really good saves. Uh, Everyone on Twitter was complaining about Freddie, but that's kind of notorious with Leafs Twitter. I don't
Yeah,
know if you
that's
want
gonna
to
happen.
agree.
So let's see the. So according to Daily Faceoff, the Leafs' first power play unit going into the season will be Simmons, Thornton, Marner, Riley, and Matthews.
That's gross. But honestly, I think like again, like going back to my point, Riley might go down to the second power play unit. I
Mm-hmm.
think they might make Riley more of a defensive player,
I don't know how
especially now
accurate
that you
this
have.
is though, because they have TJ Brody as the quarterback for the second power play unit, which
I think that after they saw what they saw
it's
with
going to be
Lettman,
Miko.
if Nico gets in games, he's going to be on the power play 100%. It's like what they
Mm-hmm.
did, like obviously what they should have done from the beginning is put Barry on PP1 or PP2, whatever,
Mm-hmm. PP.
PPs. We had this, I love how we both said it at the same time. But obviously there was a certain NBC analyst that is not going to allow that. And I hope they ask him about that if they talk about the Oilers. That'd be funny. Um, but like I like what I saw out of that Nick Robertson shot at the end was just
I didn't
like,
know he had
oh,
that in him.
I mean, he's so little.
I didn't know, like, but
He
even
went
then,
to the
like,
Mitch Marner school.
I didn't know he had a slap shot in his like arsenal.
Yeah. Um, the Spezza shootout blip. I'm glad that it happened in the scrimmage.
But all the
And
stuff that, but like, this should be premise. All the stuff that happened in the scrimmage, it should just all be taken with a grain of salt, just because
yeah, because like
it's
these guys aren't
scrimmage.
playing 100% to their, because that's like everyone was like, oh, Team White, or actually not everyone, but like I don't want people to be like, oh, Team White was the better team, or they were trying and Team
Mm-hmm.
Blue wasn't even trying. It's like, dude, they were just having fun and they were just like trying to play
Yeah.
hockey. Um, Underrated player, I really like Travis Boyd. I thought he really looked like a depth player that the Leafs could use. And depending on how this season goes, I wouldn't mind bringing him back next year. Like he's got some NHL experience to him,
Well,
decent face-off
I saw
guy.
a few people on Twitter say they were impressed with Nick Patan's game, but then he got waived.
Yeah, but I think if like I don't know the Leafs taxi squad, or I don't know if anybody tweeted it. I know that they said the Habs taxi squad was like Perry and a couple. I think Perry and Mete were on the taxi squad. If I remember correctly, and probably
Mete. I
don't.
thought it was Frolik.
Oh yeah, it was Frolic. Yeah. So I can't remember. I don't know anybody that really, you know, put out this is what the Leafs uh thing is going to be. But I mean, oh my god. All right, another thing people to cringe when they watch this. Now they're gonna be like, "Why is this guy yawning? What the fuck is this guy doing? This guy's actually horrible." They're gonna
Drink a,
literally hear that and they're gonna click off. Anyway,
drink a
um,
coffee, man.
I don't drink. I just had dessert. What are you kidding me? I had friggin' apple pie. I should have a lot of energy. Like, good lord. Anyway,
Unless you're experiencing that early sugar crash. But anyways,
I
go on.
probably am. But yeah, Boyd looked really good. I think I could definitely see him getting some games as like right now he's the least fifth line center, I think. But that can change because like Pierre Engvall exists, which I'm surprised that Keith was really hard on Engvall. I don't know about you, because like
I feel like he's a lot harder on his guys he had in the Marlies because he knows what they're capable of and he wants to see them play up to their capabilities.
Yeah. What's it? Hold on one second. I was looking at a couple players that were on the roster. I really like Joey Anderson. I thought that he looked really interesting, and I think that he could be a player. And like I was thinking about this, like of all men do when they're in the shower or on the shitter, they tend to ponder big decisions in that state of mind. So I was just thinking, like I was in the shower and I was just like, what if the Leafs like let Hyman walk? I had two scenarios in my head. What if they let Hyman walk? Or, and this one's probably something that I think could happen. What if, considering the cap's not going to go up, what if everybody just takes the same amount of money, if not less, that's expiring? Because, like, if you look at the guys that are up, like Spezza Thornton, they probably won't ask for a lot. I don't think Travis Boyd would ask for a lot. Jimmy VC, who knows if he'll even come back. I feel like Hyman won't ask for anything more than 4. But again, I could be wrong. And then also you have to keep in mind like who you're going to protect in the expansion draft because that's still a thing that's going to happen. It's almost
Did you hear
weird. Like
that one reporter ask I don't know who it was. Ask Dermott if he thinks he's gonna get taken by Seattle.
someone asked that. Please tell me that was like a Toronto Sun reporter.
Oh god, I don't remember who it was, and I don't think it's
If
important.
it was Steve Simmons, he deserves to be punched in the mouth.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of guys that work for the Sun that are completely horrible, and like they've been that way for years.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think like looking at the Leafs roster, like I already know once like say 5 games are played, which is going to be by after our next show because they'll play at least 3 before next week because you got one when we're recording on Tuesday, so they're playing on Wednesday, and then you got a back-to-back Friday.
Yeah.
Don't you think that if you were playing a back-to-back in Ottawa, that Babcock would play Freddie both games because he'd be like, oh well, we're not traveling. There's no jet lag.
He always would do that, right? He never played Hutchison or whoever the hell the backup was
No,
ever,
he
other
would
than
play
for
them on the
back-to-back.
second half of a back-to-back always.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, okay, if we get 2 or 4 points, that's not bad. But it's like, don't you want at least 4?
To me, that was like the
And
loser mentality. But anyways,
yeah, it
that
was.
brings that brings us to this season. If you think that the Leafs are going to go more tandem based rather than
Yeah,
having
I think
just Freddie start the bulk of the starts.
I'm gonna be completely honest, and like this is gonna sound really douchey, especially if you look at all the other 6 Canadian teams. They're gonna roll with all 3. I think if you go against a team like Ottawa, you could see it. Aaron Dell probably playing. I think like Jack Campbell could probably get like a couple games against Vancouver or against Calgary, kind of like guys that aren't near the top of the division, but are like itching close. Like the Jets and the Sens, I like especially near the end of the season, I think they will see more Aaron Dell because like I feel like personally, if you're uh if you're Sheldon Keefe, you want Freddie like rested as much as possible, not like to the point where you're how long was that gap for? Like you don't want a 5 month break, obviously, which is what it was in the bubble. It was like a 4 or 5 month break. But like you want to give him some rest so that when he comes back, like he's dialed in, he's glued in. So I feel like we're going to see a lot of Aaron Dell, especially in the second half, probably near the end of the season, like the last, I don't know, 15 games. We'll see a lot of him. Uh, honestly, and this is just my own personal opinion. Like, I don't know if you agree with me. If Jack Campbell was the Leafs starter next year and say Freddie walks, I don't think I'd hate that, would you?
It depends on how he plays this season, to be honest.
Well, like he's very much a late bloomer because obviously he got picked 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
That's how old it's been. And like he's only played 64 games, but like he had a 924-5 with the Kings. He had a 928 2 seasons ago when the Kings were worse and Jonathan Quick couldn't stop anything. This year he was slightly worse because the Kings in front of him were worse, but the
But with the
goaltending.
Leafs, his games were good. He had like a 920 something with the
He had
in the starts he had with
915.
the Leafs.
He had a 915 in 6 games. And I think
Oh, is that it?
the only really bad game I think that he had. I remember he played really. He should have like the Leafs should have won that game against Montreal, which
Mm-hmm.
was going near around the time of the trade deadline. Should have won that game. I think he played against the Sens and he was really good. He played against Arizona. I remember I saw him and he was like really dialed in. Um, and like the thing is like with him, like you want to keep him because he's such a locker room guy. Like I
Mm-hmm.
remember like even after the Leafs lost, I think it was a couple games. Yeah, it was Hutch's last game. Like literally, what was it, mid game? I
Mm-hmm.
think it was it mid game. They traded uh or they traded for Campbell like after the game. It was like literally like minutes
It was
after
after
the
the
final.
Rangers game. They got like
Yeah,
embarrassed.
it was like buzzers, like like moments after the buzzer hit. It was just like, oh, by the way, we're gonna get this guy now. It's like
Yeah.
okay, and like
And
it
Kyle
was the guy.
Clifford, remember him?
Where is he now? I think he's with the Blues, if I remember
Yeah, the
correctly.
Blues.
Dude, there's always that one guy. Wow, that voice crack. Holy shit. I'm not having a day today. But there's always that one guy I think of that like it's like, oh, whatever happened to this guy in the trade? And like you completely forgot about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't mean to be like picky, but like there are a lot of lease trades, especially during the Lou era. Um, where I was just like, why? Like I'm trying to remember, like, okay, like the Brian Boyle deal, it was whatever because I forget who they gave up. I have to double. I think is he still with Florida or am I wrong?
Who?
Brian. I'll just search it.
I have
Brian
no
Boyle.
idea. God, I
He's
forgot
a
he
free agent
existed.
still. So Brian Boyle. So the trade that the Leafs did was Byron Fraze in a conditional second. That's
Yeah.
not a lot. Like okay, that one personally, and like I understand like it's it's woulda shoulda coulda in terms of like oh these guys might not pan out to do anything. Maybe voice crack my life. Um, but it's like this guy won't pan out to do anything. Like Byron Fraze, I kind of can see that, but like there were a couple other ones, like the Volcanics deal.
Mm-hmm.
Like you and I both agree, like why, like why would that happen? And what was really funny is like if you look back at those deals, like okay, they didn't like anchor us, but it was just like why do the deals? Like I was perfectly content with Kirby Reichel. I think was the player we gave up.
Mm-hmm.
It was a second, Rennet Valiev and Kirby Reichel. Like, I think Reichel still could have been. I think what Mason Marchment was. Kirby Reichel could have been with this team, but there was no room for him. Like I feel like because like Reichel was a giant. He was okay. He wasn't a giant, but he was like I think like 6'2", really beefy. He could play like a power forward. Like the team needed that. And like, granted, they gave up a guy who wasn't really working out for them in Scott Harrington, but like, I mean, there's always that one guy in the trade where you're like this guy was part of the trade. Like, do you remember
Yeah.
when the Leafs got Ole Jokinen?
Yeah, that was for like 6 games or something. And then
Yeah,
they traded him.
They got Ole Jokinen for 6 games, and then they traded him for Joakim Nordstrom, I believe it was Joakim Nordstrom and a 6th-round pick. Go figure.
Jeez.
Also, you want to be in a worse mood? You want to be in a bad mood?
What is it?
So remember when we got Jokinen in that deal? I don't know if you remember it.
Yeah.
So we gave up Cody Franson and Mike Santorelli, which, if you want to know how long ago that was, we're coming up on almost the 6-year anniversary of that trade.
Jeez.
I remember it was the day before my birthday they traded him. But you want to hear something? Okay, so they at least got Ole Jokinen, Brandon Leipzig,
Nice.
which is very bad, and a 2015 first-round pick, which was 24th overall. You want to know who that pick was?
Who?
Travis Konechny.
Oh, of course it was.
And the Leafs traded him in exchange for the 29th pick, which was Gabriel Carlson, who ended up going to the Blue Jackets because they traded him, they got him from Tampa with Radko Gudas. That was a weird deal. Holy shit.
Anyways, how did we get to this trade tree?
I don't know. Anyway, so going back to like, I think we were talking about Travis Boyd and Joey Anderson, and like how the roster.
No, we're talking about the goaltending. That was.
Oh yeah, holy shit. Anyway, so going back to the goaltending.
Do you think Frederik Anderson silences his haters?
I hope he does. I was honestly shocked that the team was engaging in him with contract talks this early. I think Dubas is kind of capitalizing on the fact that the cap's not going up.
Yeah.
So he's just going to his guys and being like, listen, like I'm not gonna pay you probably what you would have gotten on the market. And like as you saw, like if anything, and like I don't mean to sound like a cocky prick or like such a homer, this benefits the Leafs so much you have no idea.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because they're gonna see what the market was. Like Mike Hoffman signed a contract yesterday. Mike Hoffman scored 30 goals. He should have been signed.
He should have been signed.
Yeah, like
yesterday?
These guys should have signed officially today.
Oh, okay. Today.
But like the thing is like these guys should have had contracts back in like October at the earliest mid-November or the latest early November. And like the fact that these guys are like taking forever to sign, it's like the Leafs will go to like say Hyman or Freddie, for example, and be like, like, listen, we know I know it'll change depending on how far they go in the playoffs, but it'll be like, listen, like we understand that, the market is uncertain. The cap probably won't go up because like Bettman basically said yesterday, I don't know if you saw the interview with Tim and Sid. I listened to it. It was a really interesting one. He said that they're not playing to make money, which is really not the thing you're supposed to say
when you're going through negotiations.
Exactly.
To a contract year.
Yeah, which is very like I get the sentiment. You want to play with the fans, or for the fans and for the players, but it's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Personally, I think like looking at what the league is doing, I don't see the cap going up for like probably another 5 years.
I don't know about 5 years, but
I think
like
maybe
at least like
3.
Yeah, like 3 years.
Because it's gonna be a long time before like the league recovers from any form of like financial deficit. Because like I don't know if you saw the return or like the CBA negotiations, like the escrow cap that they're eating in year 1 is freaking bonkers. They're eating 20% this year. 20% of deferred payments going towards the debt from last season that they lost. Like that's unheard of.
Do the Maple Leafs have their taxi squad put
I don't think
together?
they do. While you look for that, and like what I'm gonna kind of continue and hit my point on is like I feel like, especially with like I feel like players don't want to leave the core because like the thing is like I'm kind of going a little forward and like everyone doesn't want to hear about that shit. Um,
Yeah, there is no taxi squad on cap friendly for the Leafs just yet.
oh, that's a rip. Also,
Anyways,
can we just say that TSN is really funny
in,
because Craig
in what
Button seems to
sense?
think that the Montreal Canadiens are the best team
Oh my
in the
god.
North Division. Like, okay, I'm gonna shit on a lot of Habs fans right now, and let me start by saying this. I don't think that the offseason was bad for them by any means. Allen Gallagher locked up and getting Toffoli, all positive. Edmonton cannot skate well. I think you were ranting about this. I
Mm-hmm.
don't remember. Like Joel Edmondson kind of
This is
cement
bad.
on his skates, really, really slow. Uh, Everyone wanted to friggin' make fun of the Leafs because they got Corey Perry, but little known fact, Joe Thornton actually had more points than Corey Perry last year. So shut the fuck up. And another thing, like what carry price are you getting? And
Mm-hmm.
also, I look at that team defensively. Their left side is oof. Like what our right to everyone else is oof. Theirs is oof times two.
I
Because
don't
like
think
listen,
our I don't think our right side is bad anymore. But anyways, go
well,
go
like
on.
compared to last season, right? Because like you had
Mm-hmm.
Barry, who was more of an offensive
Anyways,
ability. You had CC, which that still gives me chills. But like on I'm not sold on like the thing is like I don't know what carry price you're gonna get because it feels like he's very streaky in terms of like he play as a chance. He gives the team a chance to win. What I saw last year, like they never capitalized on it.
mm-hmm.
Like they were just so they looked so sluggish, especially teams like Boston, who granted they're not in their division, but like even against the look that good. Like and even over the last couple of years, like the Leafs had their number.
Yeah,
Like it really gets where you look at them and it's just like, okay, like, you know, what's here that's a game from like a year ago. And like if you compare with like another man on D, another exorbitant contract, no Max Domi, and that's really about it. Like I can't think of anything else.
they were a team last year
Like I
that
don't know, like
no that were complaining that they needed more offense, and they went and traded the guy who was a season removed from what was it, 63 points or something, 60, whatever, over 60 points for Max Domi, or was it like 72 points?
he had 32 and then he regressed. And what was really funny is this is a big FU to Max Domi because apparently he didn't get along with Claude Julien. And now, so you want to have coaching problems, do you? Here's John Tortorella. Have fun.
I know.
Like that's just Bergevin just being petty. Um,
So, anyways, back to the
but like
Leafs.
yeah, like the thing is like I still think the Leafs are going to be the team to beat.
Yeah, I don't see anyone else.
Yeah, and the thing is that they have the most offensive. Like they have three lines that I think at least score 15 goals a person in a 2 game season. I should preface because everyone's going to say,
Yeah,
"Oh, but like there's 50." No, like can't score 30 goals in that time. It's like, yeah, Alex Ovechkin wants to have a word with you on that. Like, I don't expect Math like I don't expect Matthews to hit And they're playing 56 games, I think, right? Not 52.
Yeah, it's
Like,
56.
yeah, they're playing 56. So like, you score like 40 goals in that time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, 30 at least by that period. So I mean, really possible.
Mm-hmm.
And like, lights up opponents.
I'm taking a look right now at the Leafs' second forward line, and boy, that line is going to be a pain in the ass to play against for the other team. You got Ilya Mikheyev, who's like
That is the
sneaky.
Mikheyev
Yeah,
Tavares
Mikheyev, Kerfoot,
Nylander
Hyman.
line, right?
Kerfoot is like a jerk to play against. Hyman will just be there grinding it out in the corner. They have Mikheyev there too, who's just like,
You're looking at the third line. I thought you were talking about the Tavares. That's VC and Nylander,
no, I'm talking about the
which I feel
third
like they'll
line.
make it. Oh, the third line's going to be such. They're going to be such to play against
I know, I love it.
because like they're all gritty.
And Barabanov is going to give me. I'm going to keep on thinking that's Tyson Barrie because he's wearing number 94, and of course Bogosian is
Barabanov
wearing number
wearing
22.
94. Oh,
Yeah,
oh God.
and Bogosian of course is
22.
wearing number 22.
Are you talking about? Wait, what name did you say? I didn't hear you.
Bogosian.
Oh, okay. I was right. Okay. Wait. What's so wrong about 22? Who wore 22? I can't remember.
Nikita Zaitsev.
Oh, I mean it's 1 year. So like, well, like there's okay. What other number? Uh, I already know. Like for Thornton wearing 97. Dude, can you imagine how insufferable we're gonna be if we beat the Oilers like in a game, and then everyone's like, "Huh,
Who's the
have the
better
better
97?
97 now, don't we?"
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised. I guess like was that his number? I don't know if that was his number in junior, but team like
I know
I
on
mean,
team.
who else wore like what?
I know on Team Canada he wore
Roundup.
97,
Oh, I think that was his number in junior. But
and
like, I'm
maybe
surprised that he didn't
I know
wear.
that was the year he
What?
got drafted too. No,
That was Thornton got drafted 19. No, what? I can't remember. The 90s, if I remember correctly. He was drafted 97.
yeah, that's the year he got drafted, 97.
Which this is gonna go full circle.
It's
I've
also
had.
he's
Wait,
gonna
wait,
be
wait.
wearing
Hold on.
he's gonna win the Stanley Cup wearing the number of the year he got drafted with.
So you want to laugh? Within the last 5 years, 5, 6 years,
Mm-hmm.
they literally had, and I am not kidding, they had the top 3 picks from 1997. Look at that.
You muted your mic.
I know.
Oh,
Background. But like think about it like that. Like that's literally like
mm-hmm.
that's I didn't even notice that until now.
Yeah.
I do these things at like 2 a.m. or
We
like
just
1:30
randomly
where
like
like I'll just look at
bunch
like
of stuff.
I'll look at who drafted in this
Mm-hmm.
draft and I'm like, oh yeah, this person went. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, I don't know why didn't he wear 97 when he was in San Jose if that was his number?
I don't know.
Like that was really, really awkward.
Anyways, so going into the season, do you have any hot takes or bold predictions for the Leafs?
I feel like there was a tweet to go along with that.
No.
Uh, I think personally, this team is going to hit overnight. That's going to be a thing that happens.
They're going to what?
They're going to hit over 90 points. That's going to happen.
Okay.
I have a distinct suspicion they're going to. I feel like Riley could really, if he has another really good off season, could nudge his way into the Norris conversation. Probably like top
kind of like
5,
a season
maybe.
He had 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's what I think. Because like he's probably fully healthy now. and with Brody, he's a lot more secure.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that Riley's probably gonna maybe get a nomination for the top three because what like okay, Hedman is gonna probably get number one,
Mm-hmm.
Yossi at two, three, maybe like four or five. I still think that Miro Heiskanen is gonna have a coming out party. So that's just me. Uh Hot take for me. I think that Alex Kerfoot is gonna hit at least 30 points in 56 games. He's gonna have a bounce season because like last season he was kind of oof. And also
Yeah.
he got punched in the face a lot. Also, like, can you imagine like the protective face shields that players wear usually when they break their jaws? Why
Yeah.
don't they wear them this year? I feel like that would really benefit them.
Well, there's holes in it.
Oh, I mean, yeah, but like the problem is like it's more filtered,
Not
right?
really.
Like,
The holes are big. I used to
well, like
play with
I'm
one. They're not. They don't do anything. They wouldn't do anything.
really you don't think like I feel like a shield would at least like you'd have it in
No,
front of
but
you.
around the mouth area, it's all just like a cage, so it's not going to do anything.
Mask underneath. Not kidding, they won't do that. Especially certain players in the league that will remain nameless, that will delete their Twitter accounts for no reason because they're stupid.
Mhm.
Anyway. Another thing. So I have two names that I want to know how do you think they'll do? The first one is obvious in Nick Robertson.
I don't think Nick Robertson gets himself into too many games, to be honest. I'm thinking
Like it's
maybe.
hard to judge, right?
Hmm. It all depends, like on how it goes. But like as the roster goes right now, he's not going to get into more than 10 games. I don't think.
He's like on the outside looking in,
Yeah.
which really sucks just because like
Hmm.
on another team he'd probably be on the third line or second line.
Yeah.
But like here it's like really awkward and obviously like you can't send him down to the Marlies. You don't know if you're gonna have a junior season at this point. I don't think you do. At least until the spring.
Hmm.
Uh, I think okay, now the second player that I want to know, and this one's tricky to me. What do you do with Rasmus Sandin?
I think he's on the taxi squad. He's waivers
Yeah,
exempt, right?
no, but
So
like how many games you think?
same as Robertson. I don't see him getting into too many because I think they're going to rotate a lot. They're going to rotate a lot. The Dermot, Bogosian, and those two with Lettinen, and maybe Sandine is in that rotation too for the bottom pair.
Probably. I think what we're gonna see a lot of is like every two or three, and like I think that their their benefit is that they're gonna have a bunch of these guys like rotating
Yeah, I think
because
that's what's going to happen.
like
Just
we'll like, and I think that's gonna benefit them not only in terms of like like giving guys ice time, but also like if you need to like give guys breaks or like injuries happen, you're already ready to go. If God
Mhm.
forbid, like I messed that up. It's like if somebody were to catch it, like catch COVID, then it would be like okay, like these guys can be isolated, and then we can have these guys come in and like act as fillers for them,
Mhm.
um, without picking from the roster. I think that honestly, Sandine plays probably. I'm gonna say 12 games, and then Robertson maybe five near the end.
Yeah. Um.
That's most likely what I see happening.
Mhm. Want to do over unders?
Sure.
All right. Um. For over unders, followed by one very important question.
Okay.
Let's see. All right. So we kind of talked about this earlier about there being a bit of a being a bit of a tandem. So what do you think then? Does Frederick Anderson get over or under 32? I put it at 32 starts. the threshold. Don't know why. The number
Ooh.
just felt good.
Well, like 56 divided by 2 is what? This is a big
20,
math problem.
28.
28. So like, okay, so like, will he get over 30 starts? Probably. I think they cap him at 35. And like, for those you math whizzes out there, 35 divided by 56, it's about 63% of the game. So it's more than half. And then, what do you do with the remainder? If you give him like 35 starts, like there's like 20 some, there's 21 games that you have, and you could do probably, you could probably split it up, maybe 10 for Arundel, 10 for Jack Campbell, and then the rest are just like, or the last one could just be like, flip a coin. Who gives a shit? Or here's an idea. You call up Michael Hutchinson, who went to the second round and could have went to the Western Conference Final if Dallas didn't like really good stories and having fun. But like you could do that, and I think like 30, like Freddie played like what 60 usually on
Yeah.
average, 60, 65, which is a lot. But I think personally, like that's kind of the comfortable number that I'm with.
Mm-hmm.
Like 30, 35, I think is the go-to.
All right. So Austin Matthews over under 40 goals. I think he can do it. Like last year he was on like a
Considering he
crazy pace.
plays certain teams really, really well. He plays the Habs really well. He plays against Ottawa really well. And considering those are the first 3 games, this is going to be a yikes. I don't think he scored a lot against Edmonton, so I think that one might be. Or no, he scored a little bit against Edmonton. It depends on who's in goal. I think Koskinen could do a little better instead of Mike Smith. He hasn't really done a whole lot against Calgary. If they play Calgary, he's going to be a little screwed. And then Vancouver, he'll usually get a goal. So like, I think he can honestly, like, you said 50, right?
40.
40. I think he just comes shy. I think 35 is what we're going to cap it at. Realistically,
I think he's getting 40.
right? It's a 5-point difference between you and me.
William Nylander over under 25 goals. I said I think
Over.
he'll get over.
This guy's gonna hit 30 with Tavares or even Matthews in his sleep. This guy is, and if you saw him in the scrimmage game, like this guy looks, and like I know like people are gonna be like, oh, it didn't matter, and he was trying too hard because he's not gonna make the team. It's like, no, the dude's just playing hockey, and also like his shot is really boss, and also like there was somebody that I think put a tweet where it was like a compilation of like Nylander like threading the puck through his legs to pass it to another one of his guys, and like he always did it to Tavares and Matthews. And I'm just like, dude, and especially like on the power play, right? Because like I feel like the Leafs are going to be the ones drawing calls more than the ones taking calls. Well, actually, that's debatable. Okay, more like they'll be like roughed up against.
Yeah.
Like if Simmons isn't on the ice, then they'll be like, okay, we'll just take a power play and score on your net. Because like some goony lunatic, like I don't know, like a Zach Cassian or who else is like really gritty? I'm just thinking Oilers, like Darnell Nurse, Milan Lucic is in your.
No,
Think
well,
about this.
he's on Calgary now, right?
Yeah, I know.
Still on Calgary.
Yeah. Think about it like this: the Leafs are gonna have to play Milan Lucic, which if you told me 5 years ago, I would probably cry, because Milan Lucic 5 years ago would make you cry. Now it's just like, oh, you're so cute.
All right.
Cute little boy with the big nose.
Don't know how we got from William Nylander to Milan Lucic. But
because Leaf fans want that trade, don't you know?
Yeah. But anyways, Mitch Marner over under point a game. I have him at over.
Over. I think he comes back and he does really, really well. I also think, okay, I'm also going to ask you over under 20 goals. I think he scores more this year.
I think he scores a little more too.
That's what he says he wants to do. And also, like, he's got a shot. Like, he doesn't use it a lot, but he has a shot. So, like, I think he personally does it.
All right.
Um,
So John Tavares over under 50 points. I think he's over.
over,
Nick
especially with play.
Robertson over under
We
10 games.
we already kind of went through this. Probably
Yeah.
under, most likely.
And
Um,
we both already said this, but we'll just confirm it. Toronto Maple Leafs over under 90 points.
I think they'll be over 90 points just because like
Yeah.
they play the Canadian teams really well. Like I think what was really funny is somebody was trying to find out if like a former Leaf was on every team, and I think they are. It's like I'm trying to think. Like I know Josh Levo is on Calgary, if I'm not mistaken. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna look at it right now. Who's on the Oil? Tyson Berry's on the Leafs or on the Oilers, and also Tyler Ennis. The Sens have Connor Brown. That's kind of an easy one, and also Nikita Zaitsev, and also
the Habs don't have.
Do they though? I will check that.
Think
They do not. Okay,
they
so
don't.
they
The Habs don't.
they
I
get.
don't think Vancouver does anymore.
I think Vancouver still does. Hold on, I want to see. Vancouver. They okay. So those two teams are boring. They don't have any fun people. And then I think Winnipeg has. Who's a Leaf that was here? I think Winnipeg also falls into that category.
I also forgot about Winnipeg because Winnipeg is just, they're not good this year.
I was also looking because I was like, okay, if Barzal signed and all the RFAs are signed, right? And then I look and I'm like, oh shit, Jack Roslovic exists. So then I was looking at the and I was like, wait, how did they get Jack Roslovic? This all comes full circle because this was part of the Evander Kane deal. So I'm gonna do bootleg Steve Dangle and do a trade tree here. This was okay. So I need you to tell me how badly the Jets botched this deal because I feel like every single asset that they have now, they don't have anymore. Okay, so Buffalo traded Ryan Miller and Steve Ott. You feel old yet that Steve Ott was still a thing?
Yeah.
For Chris Stewart, William Carrier, Yaroslav Halak, Jack Roslovic, who was the first round pick in that draft, or the upcoming following draft, and then a third round pick in the 2016 draft. The first round turned into Roslovic. I'll get back to that. Halak, I think, played like I don't even think he played a game for Buffalo, if I'm not mistaken. He he didn't even suit up for the Sabres. That's kind of hilarious. He went straight to Washington.
Yeah.
But anyway, so here's where this trade really goes weird. So Zach Bogosian Evander Kane, and Jason Kasdorf went to the Sabres. Kane is on the Sharks and is in debt. Bogosian has a Stanley Cup, is on the Leafs. Strange times. And Jack Kasdorf, I think he's just a nobody. Sorry. The Jets got Joel Armia, who's on the Habs. Tyler Myers, who's on the Canucks. Drew Stafford, who's not even playing. Brandon Lemieux, who's a Ranger and is also kind of a piece of shit. And Jack Roslovic. And now they're going to lose Jack Roslovic. So Chevy is a fun man.
Nice trade. I don't know how Winnipeg has been able to keep like Maurice and Shovel Day off as their two guys for like all their existence.
Apparently they're owned by a really, really wealthy family. I don't know who, but like it makes sense why they have a lot of like support and funding from that, just because like they have the family who's feeding in and giving them money. But I still think they should do more. Like I think they're not aggressive in terms of things.
Any final thoughts?
There really isn't. Like that's the thing. Like there's still a lot of like uncertainty, and like with what's going on in the NBA with all of these like postponing games, which are basically due to like inconclusive test results, or if like somebody may have been exposed and then now they're gonna have to like postpone games. I don't think that that'll happen really in hockey per se. In Canada, it can't. just because of all of the regional restrictions. Like you can't really do anything, and also like, you know, I don't mean
Mhm.
to sound like mean, but I feel like the Leafs are just boring. They're not a lot of party animals.
Yeah.
Like I remember, like you know how GQ has those like 10 things this person can't live without series.
Matthews.
They did one for Matthews and McDavid, and like Matthews is like, this is my Xbox, this is my Switch.
This is my body pillow.
Yeah, like I feel like these guys are just so simple, and like,
Yeah.
and like for all you McDavid versus Matthews people out there, Matthews' video was more entertaining. McDavid looked like a friggin' robot. He just didn't want to do it.
I know.
Matthews was like, okay, like this is my shit. Like this is pretty cool. Like I do this just because. Like you need
Mhm.
more. Like be happier. Like if you, I guarantee you, if you did that, okay, like okay, with the NBA, there's a couple like robots like Kawhi, but
Yeah.
like it's still like like make it fun. Like have fun doing what
Mhm.
you're doing.
Yeah.
But like I have a funny feeling because I remember when the pandemic started, especially in like the early months in March and April, I was tuning into Zach Hyman streams, and I was like, because he was playing Warzone, and I'm like, shit, maybe I'll play Warzone with him. And then I was like, he has an Xbox, and I'm just like, god damn it. The one thing you
Mhm.
needed.
Yeah, I know.
But I have a funny feeling, and this is just my own personal take, and I feel like players should do this. Players should stream because you can
Another.
make you can make
Yeah.
additional side revenue from Twitch. It's
Yeah.
not against your contract, I don't think, to do anything with third party services
I don't think
unless
so.
like unless you, I think you have to like double check it with
Unless you want to get into a boxing match with one of the Paul brothers.
I honestly like I don't know if I want to see that fight more or Mayweather fight more. Like I don't know. Like it's just so like I think about it and I'm just like, okay, like do I want one guy that I think is a piece of shit versus another guy who's a piece of shit and is in debt, and then like same as above for like Evander Kane,
Hmm.
like I think without Thornton there, I feel like he's gonna run amok because like because you heard the story, right? That like Thornton picked him up at the airport and he's just like, hey, no bullshit.
Yeah.
This is your home now. I mean, like it's okay because you're gonna get a stern talking to by 41-year-old Patrick Marleau.
Marlo does not really seem as intimidating.
How funny is it that we all wanted out of wait, oh whoa, this just broke. This is actually really weird. Apparently Keith Yandel's gonna get healthy scratched.
Really.
Shit. Damn. That's gonna be
He
really
has like the
crazy.
longest active game streak in the NHL right now.
Yeah, oh, I thought it was Marlowe still.
No. No, like active, like without missing one. Like
Oh, Marlowe hasn't missed a
consecutive
game.
games.
Marlowe hasn't missed a game.
No, I saw the other day it's Yandel. It's like 800 and something straight.
Yeah, but Marlowe still has the most, I think.
No, the longest one right now is Yandel.
Hold on. We have to. Okay, hold on. How do I Google search longest active games
Consecutive
streak
game streak.
NHL?
I just read it yesterday.
Send me this link, you
I don't
fool.
know where. I don't remember where. It was on Twitter somewhere.
Yeah, wait, hold on. Yandel ranks fourth time. Yeah, 866. Oh shit, yeah, he's ahead of Marlowe. You're right.
Yeah.
But he's younger. That's weird.
Marlo probably missed a game like 10 years ago.
So the top five was Doug Jarvis with 964, Gary Unger with 914, Steve Lamar or Larmer 884, Yandel 866, Marlowe 854. He's gonna pass him now if he's gonna get scratched.
Mm-hmm.
And then Phil Kessel with 844. And then dude, Andrew Cogliano was creeping up on that list. That's a
And then he got
name that really,
suspended.
yeah. Jay Bolmuster was also close.
Mm-hmm.
He had like about 700 and change. Hank Sedin. Dude, yeah, that's weird. That was like a really weird tidbit, but like,
Hmm.
wow. I kind of want to see what Twitter's saying about this because I feel like Twitter would literally be like on
He got
fire
Mike
with this.
Medano'd.
Probably.
Anyways, I think that's it.
It's
That's
it's
everything.
yeah. Um Also Money Puck has the Leafs with a 53.7 chance of winning against the Habs 46.3. So
Hmm.
just saying, if you want to jump on the bandwagon, you're more than welcome. Uh
But yeah.
also let us know if you want us to make any more memes because Joey made a funny meme of the Office intro,
Oh yeah, that
which
was a
I
couple
feel
weeks
like
ago.
if we do a Leaf specific if we do a Leaf specific episode, can we put that video in our like as the intro?
Let's just say I'll have something brewing.
Yeah, I gotta learn how to do that shit. Like I've like once I graduate, like once like the
Hmm.
world hopefully goes back to like basically normal, hopefully, then like I'm hoping that we can like I can like learn how to use like Adobe Premiere and stuff. Because
Hmm.
I want to get creative, man. I can't just keep using iMovie. It's garbage.
iMovie's trash.
Indeed it is. That's why I said it.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's pretty much all we got for our takes going into the first little tidbit of the 2021 season.
Hmm.
It's funny they're gonna call it the 2020-2021 season. You might as well just call it
Yeah.
the 2021 season
Yeah.
because like 2020, like the first quarter didn't happen.
Nope. Anyways.
Yeah, so that's it. You plug everything. I'm gonna yawn again. I kind of don't want to yawn.
All right. So you can catch us on Twitter at Q_City Roundup and on Instagram at Queen City Roundup. So if you're watching on YouTube, you'll see those in the video. So just it's free to follow people on
It
social
is
media
free. Support
and
the
takes like
boys.
10 seconds. So I think it's something you guys should all consider. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe. Let's grow the channel. And anything else you want to add?
If you think that the Habs are gonna be better than the Leafs, you're smoking some crack.
Yeah, what he said. All right. Take care. Buds all day. And we'll see you all next week.